Do you think that a simple dish like an egg can quietly affect your health every day? I used to believe I was doing the right thing. A breakfast of crispy, aromatic fried eggs, both delicious and nutritious. But then, after a routine health checkup, the doctor looked at me and asked, "Mr. Harold, have you changed anything in your diet lately? Your inflammation markers are a bit high." At that moment, I didn't think about eggs. Until I started to dig deeper and discovered that eggs, if not prepared or stored properly, can pose a potential risk, especially for people over 60 like myself. In today's video, I want to share with you 5 common mistakes that many people, from beginners starting to eat healthier to grandparents who cook every day, often make when consuming eggs. And importantly, each of these mistakes is completely avoidable, just with a few small adjustments. These adjustments don't require you to change your entire diet. You just need to understand correctly and start from very simple things. So, if eggs are your favorite dish, if you want to eat healthier without sacrificing taste, make sure to watch this video until the end. I will not only share what you shouldn't do, but also guide you on gentle yet effective ways to help the egg, a familiar dish, realize its inherent value. And before we begin, if you enjoy content that helps improve health in a relatable and easy-to-apply way, please hit the like button on this video to let me know you're here. You can also leave a comment with a number 1 if you find this topic useful, or a number 0 if you think I need to do better. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the small bell next to it so you won't miss the upcoming videos. Thank you. Now, let's start with the first mistake. Number 1. I will never forget my old habit. Every morning, I would crack 2 eggs into a hot pan, turn the heat up high, and fry them until the edges were crispy and the yolks were set. For me, that was just right eggs in Mr. Walters style. Simple, satisfying, and easy to eat. But then I started to feel discomfort in my stomach after breakfast. Not a sharp pain, just bloating, sluggishness, and a lack of energy. When I told my grandchild, a nutritionist, about it, they asked, "Have you ever thought that your fried eggs might be overcooked?" To be honest, I had never considered that. But it turns out that when eggs are cooked at high temperatures for too long, the good fats and cholesterol inside the eggs begin to oxidize. This process creates inflammatory compounds, things that silently impact cardiovascular health, digestion, and overall well-being, especially in the elderly. Not to mention that heat-sensitive vitamins like B12, folate, and good eye antioxidants like lutein and zeaxanthin are severely diminished when exposed to high temperatures for too long. I tried to make a change. I started by lowering the heat. I used butter instead of oil, stirred the eggs gently, and cooked them more slowly. One day, I boiled soft-boiled eggs for exactly 6 minutes. The results surprised me. No more bloating, my morning energy returned, and the eggs were much tastier. Not dry, not burnt, but soft, fragrant, and lightly creamy. The problem didn't lie with the eggs, but with how we cook them. A very small change can lead to great effects. If you're frying eggs with crispy edges every morning, try turning down the heat a bit. Maybe, like me, you will realize that your body is more grateful for that change than you think. Number 2. I still remember very clearly the time when my neighbor, Ms. Mabel, 67 years old, always started her mornings with a fruit smoothie mixed with a raw egg. She believed that this way would retain all nutrition, especially protein and vitamins. "Don't cook them, it ruins all the nutrients," she often said to me confidently. Everything seemed fine until one week when she called to say she had a fever, nausea, and excruciating stomach pain. The doctor's diagnosis was salmonella poisoning, from those very raw eggs she had trusted for many years. Raw eggs or soft-boiled eggs may look very appealing, but few people know that the risk of bacterial contamination is very real. Salmonella bacteria can exist even in clean-looking eggs, with no cracks or odor. This is particularly dangerous for older adults like us. When the immune system is no longer as strong as before, even a mild case of poisoning can lead to severe complications. And that's not all. The egg white contains a protein called avidin. This substance can bind with biotin, an important B vitamin for the nervous system, skin, and hair, preventing the body from absorbing it. Eating raw eggs frequently can lead to biotin deficiency without you even realizing it. I'm not saying that you must give up your favorite egg dishes, but there is a simpler, safer way. Cook them. Just boil, fry, or steam until both the egg white and yolk are set. You will still receive all the nutrition, without gambling with your health. If you still love the rich flavor of soft-boiled eggs, you can choose pasteurized eggs, or cook them soft-boiled in a safer manner with precisely controlled timing. As for Ms. Mabel, after that incident, she still drinks her smoothie every morning. But the eggs are now pre-boiled before being added to the blender. She smiled and said, "Better safe than sorry." And I think that's a wise decision. Number 3. A few months ago, I had the opportunity to visit Mr. Lester, an old friend of 73 years who lives alone. He is a very tidy person and has a habit of preparing meals for the entire week every Sunday. In his refrigerator, I saw a large bowl filled with fried eggs and boiled eggs, left uncovered. I jokingly asked, "Are you planning to eat them until Saturday?" He nodded, saying that it saves time and is convenient. But then he also admitted that lately, he has often experienced mild stomach pain, with some days feeling nauseous after breakfast. We began to suspect those eggs. Cooked eggs, if not stored properly, can easily become a breeding ground for bacteria. Many people think that once cooked, they are safe, but in reality, if left at room temperature for more than 2 hours, eggs can quickly become a hidden reservoir of bacteria, especially in a warm environment. Bacteria such as Salmonella, Listeria, or E. coli are not visible to the naked eye, but they can thrive if the eggs are not cooled properly. In addition, eggs kept near raw foods like meat or unwashed vegetables are also at risk of cross-contamination. A small trace of meat juice can spoil all the eggs you have thoroughly cooked. Therefore, as soon as the eggs cool down, place them in airtight containers and store them in the fridge, preferably in a separate area. Particularly for boiled eggs, if kept in their shells, you can preserve them for up to a week, as long as they are stored correctly. After that conversation, Mr. Lester changed his habits. He divided the eggs into smaller containers, sealed them tightly, and only cooked enough for 3 to 4 days. Since then, he has not had any digestive issues anymore. We often focus on how to cook but easily forget that storage is also an important part of keeping food healthy. Don't let a good dish like eggs turn into a risk just because you left them out on the kitchen counter for too long. Number 4. Mrs. Helen, a 74-year-old lady who lives near my house, is always careful with every meal. She reads labels carefully, avoids canned goods, and prefers fresh foods. However, there is one thing she often overlooks: slightly cracked eggs or those that are a few days past the expiration date. "I feel it's still fine, no smell, no color change. I hate to waste it, so I still use it," she said when I asked. Until one day, she suffered from severe abdominal pain and had to go to the hospital for emergency care. The test results revealed that she was infected from an egg that seemed harmless. It looked perfectly normal on the outside but had gone bad inside. The reality is that eggs, even if they look clean and show no unusual signs, can still harbor bacteria if they are cracked or expired. An eggshell is not a perfect barrier. It has thousands of tiny holes that are invisible to the naked eye, allowing air and bacteria from the environment to gradually seep in over time. When an egg is cracked, even just a small crack, it becomes much easier for bacteria to enter. Moreover, the expiration date printed on the egg carton is just a reference point and does not guarantee that the eggs will still be fresh by that date, especially if the temperature fluctuated multiple times during transportation or storage. There is a simple trick I have used for many years: testing the egg in cold water. Just drop the egg into a bowl of water. If it sinks and lies horizontally at the bottom, it is fresh. If it stands upright or tilts, the egg is old and should be used soon. And if the egg floats to the surface, that means it has taken in too much air, and you should discard it immediately, without hesitation. Additionally, if when you crack the egg open, you notice the egg white is too watery, has an unusual smell, or abnormal color, it's best not to hesitate. After that incident, Mrs. Helen started checking each egg before cooking and always discarded those showing signs of being spoiled, even if just suspected. She said, "It's not worth risking health for a few cents worth of egg." I think that is a very wise philosophy for anyone, especially when we are no longer young. Number 5. When I was still working, I was used to quick and easy cooking. In the morning, I would turn on the stove, pour a bit of oil from the large bottle I bought at the supermarket into the pan, crack an egg in, and fry it. I didn't pay much attention to the oil. As long as it was cheap, odorless, and easy to fry, it was fine. I thought all oils were pretty much the same. However, after retiring, I began to pay more attention to health. At that time, I realized that the oil I had used for decades, blended vegetable oil, was actually something that was silently affecting my body every day. The problem is that many common oils, such as corn oil, soybean oil, and canola oil, are refined at very high temperatures and through chemical processing, causing their structures to become unstable when exposed to heat. When you use these oils to fry eggs at high temperatures, they are prone to oxidation and produce inflammatory compounds, such as trans fats or free radicals. These substances not only affect cardiovascular health but also contribute to the aging process and cognitive decline, something that older adults like me need to be particularly mindful of. I began to make a simple change, switching to pure olive oil, sometimes using unsalted butter or coconut oil. At first, I thought it would be hard to get used to, but it turned out that the eggs tasted better. They were flavorful, tender, and I no longer felt a scratchy throat after eating them. I remember Mr. Marvin, the 78-year-old neighbor, who once said after changing his frying oil, "I didn't expect that such a small change could make my stomach feel lighter and my mind clearer." If you have taken the time to choose clean eggs and cook them properly, don't let a wrong choice of oil spoil everything. Cooking oil is not just a lubricant in the pan. It enters your body, affecting your blood vessels, heart, brain, and even your joints. Choose healthy, stable oils for cooking, and ensure that each meal is not only delicious but also truly nourishes you from the inside out. So we have just gone through the common mistakes that many people make when eating eggs, from overcooking, eating raw eggs, improper storage, using cracked eggs to choosing the wrong frying oil. Each mistake may seem small, but if repeated over time, they can silently affect health, especially as age increases. The good news is that all of these can be easily adjusted. No one is forcing you to completely change your habits. Just a little fine-tuning, cooking slower, being more careful, choosing better ingredients, and you will notice the difference not only in taste but also in how your body responds. I have always believed that health does not come from big changes in a day, but from small choices that are repeated every day. A properly prepared egg can be a dish that is both simple and nutritious and easy to absorb, especially for those looking to maintain their health after the age of 60. Now, I want to hear from you. Among these 5 mistakes, what surprised you the most? Are you overcooking your eggs? Or do you still have the habit of using unsuitable frying oil? Please share one thing you want to change starting today in the comments below. I will read every line and respond to your comments. If you find this video useful, don't forget to like, share it with your loved ones, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next videos. Thank you for staying with me until the end. Wishing you always be healthy, relaxed, and fulfilled in every meal every day. See you in the next video.